Federici, who is Eric Ruff?
He's the communications director at the Interior Department. Or he was.
This is a memo from you to Eric Ruff. Hi, Eric. Number 41. Hi, Eric. Here are 2 articles that were forwarded to me today. You can see from one that Ralph Reed and his firm are involved somehow. From what I have been told, Ralph is working with Doolittle, don't know whether for free or as a paid consultant, and has been bending the ear of Karl Rove and possibly even the president about land and trust gaming issues. And you go on and on and on.
But I didn't know that Jack was behind that effort. And when I found that out, I felt tremendously manipulated. Jack presented that to me as that this was something that he was hearing secondhand, or that he was a third party to it. He didn't tell me that he was paying Ralph Reed to do that.
Exhibit number 4. Hi, Italia. Again, Mr. Abramoff. I hate to bother you with something on tribal affairs, but one of our core tribes is being screwed by the BIA, and we really need somehow to get the Secretary to undo this fast. Their insurance business is just about to go under, days away, and BIA is just not responding since there is no new head there. I've sent this to Steve as well, but I thought perhaps you might be able to get this to the Secretary directly to get action. Here's the one-pager on it. The point of this is Mr. Abramoff, throughout this entire chapter, seems at the drop of a hat to send you a note and say, get this done, do this, contact this person. And this is the person, incidentally, that gave you hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's the one that got the tribes. Would you agree that the tribes donated this money at Mr. Abramoff's request? I'm talking about donated the money.
Absolutely.
All right,
absolutely.
So Mr. Abramoff got the tribes to donate some hundreds of thousands of dollars to you. Do you agree that Mr. Abramoff is constantly asking you to do business for him with respect to tribal interests? Do you agree with that?
Senator, it appears constant because we're going through, emails in a rapid-fire fashion.
But do you agree?
But to me, if it was once every other week, that didn't seem rapid-fire at the time.
Well, whatever rapid-fire is, do you agree that Mr. Abramoff, after getting you the funding for your organization, was asking you, as we've cited in the evidence, asking you to do some Indian business with him at the Interior Department because you had juice? Do you agree with that?
No, Senator. I do not agree with the characterization that Jack made, that I was not a party to, that I had juice at Interior.
All right, let me stop with the juice thing. Do you agree with this? Do you agree that Jack Abramoff got you some hundreds of thousands of dollars?
He did.
And then asked you over a period of time, a good many times, to get involved in Indian issues that he was involved with the Interior Department? Is that the case?
He did make requests of me, and he did also, Senator, continually apologize to me throughout this time period for, quote, bugging me with tribal issues. Okay? And Jack, at the time, I believed was a friend.
Mrs. Federici, you must be the luckiest woman alive to be heading an organization, and all of a sudden a friend says, you know something, let me get you about $500,000. But now we know what that was for, in my judgment.
Did Mr. Abramoff ever comp a CREA function?
I can't recall if he did or didn't sitting here right now. But
well, you just provided documents with it where you reimbursed. Was there? You must have examined whether there was cases where you were comped by Abramoff.
Well, if I didn't, the absence of a check wouldn't be a document.
I think you would know whether you paid or not.
I don't.
Any record keeping would indicate whether you paid or not. And the question is, did Abramoff ever comp an event by CREA?
I can't say, but if he comped us a lunch at some point in time, I mean, we would have just written it down as an in-kind contribution. That's what an in-kind contribution is.
Exactly, and that's the question. Did he ever comp anything for your organization?
Well, I was not asked to look into in-kind contributions that I recall.
Totally non-responsive. You should know whether you were comped or not, because just a simple thing of record keeping. You submit to the record. Go back on your records. Please don't interrupt anymore, Mrs. Federici. It's a simple question as to whether Mr. Abramoff ever comped anything for you or your organization.
I don't recall.
And then I would like to have you go back through your documents and provide for this committee whether he did or not.
I'm happy to answer all of your questions.
I understand,
really
although I'm not. I guess I'm not understanding your answers. I think that this set of emails and the evidence that we've collected through subpoena paints a very clear picture of what was going on. You're denying virtually all of it. And I understand that. You come to the committee with some jeopardy. You're under oath.
Senator, I am not lying to this committee, okay? And, I mean, this is, I am not lying to this committee.
In one exhibit, Todd Ballinger, a senior member of Mr. Abramoff teams, asks, can Natalia get shit in the president's budget to Congress? Mr. Abramoff responds, I don't think she has juice beyond Interior. Another exhibit, here to discuss Korea and a political contribution. Mr. Abramoff writes to Mr. Ballinger, Todd, did we not request money for Korea from them? That's our access to Norton. We need money for them more than many of the others. Why is it, Mrs. Federici, that in your view, that Mr. Abramoff, time after time after time, not only believes you are critical, but makes sure that ensures that donations are made to you and your organization? How do you think he became so confused?
Senator, how did he get confused enough to call Native Americans troglodytes? Nobody can know what Jack Abramoff was thinking or saying.
That's non-responsive, Ms. Federici.
I cannot know what was in Jack Abramoff's mind.
The answer is you don't know?
I have no idea. Those emails were not to me or from me.
Although there are emails that say, I've got it, I'll get on it, I have a meeting at 4 p.m. this afternoon,
I help my friends.
We have a trail. Ms. Federici, for the last time, I'm asking you not to interrupt me.
You know, in these old Westerns movies on television, they have this phrase, what are you going to believe, me or your own eyes? I don't understand this testimony. This body of evidence we have is complete and persuasive that you came into hundreds of thousands of dollars in some moribund little Republican environmental organization, and all of a sudden you seem to be on the payroll of or working for Mr. Abramoff.
I told you that I contacted folks at Interior, but that the issues were, in my mind it was Ralph Reed is angry. Yes, Ralph Reed is angry, and James Dobson are angry, and is anybody paying attention to this?
You know what bothers me? We've been through hours and hours and hours and hours of hearings, and the staff has been through days and days of interviews at this point, and it's pretty clear that this is one of the most disgusting tales of greed and avarice, of perhaps fraud, stealing. I mean, it's unbelievable what we have uncovered here. It's almost sickening to see what we have uncovered, people being bilked and defrauded and so on. And you come to our table and say, gosh, this was just about friendships, hundreds of thousands of dollars that came to my way, and I didn't really do much. I mean, somehow none of this adds up, Ms. Federici. As I said before, this committee, in my judgment, has had people testify, and in my judgment, some of the testimony has been fraudulent. And we need to find out who, because there are consequences for that. And I don't know where this hearing goes from here, what we do. I've indicated that I think we have some additional witnesses or some additional people to interview, perhaps another hearing. But I think at some point, Mr. Chairman, we have to reconcile as well some of the inherent conflicts that this committee has been told in open